Hey all, welcome back and welcome to Coffee with Regina. And today I have my friend Donna Meyer. Is it Meyer?
Meyer.
Meyer. Okay, I want to pronounce her name correctly. And I want to tell you a little bit about Donna. Donna helps overwhelmed, purpose driven coaches, healers, and spiritual entrepreneurs build and grow profitable businesses. She has over 20 years of experience in business development, digital marketing, advertising, and event production. She was the former director of a successful holistic learning center and produced events for speakers like Deepak Chopra, Marianne Williamson, Caroline Myss, and as well as organizing many other programs. She is the CEO of Glow Media, as you can see on her title there, Glow Media Marketing, and a platinum member of the eWomen Network, chapter leader for Leap for Women. She's got all kinds of things going on. And she has certifications in business and life coaching and energy leadership, email and digital marketing. And there's just so much more I could talk about with Donna here, but I'm just going to let Donna talk. So let's get started. Welcome, Donna.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, we met at another event and we started chatting, and it was like, you make a perfect guest for Coffee with Regina. We do a similar thing. And, it's funny. I chat with people all the time and they're like, well, why would you have somebody on who does, what you do?
Right.
Aren't they your competition? And I said, I don't compete. I was like, there's people out there that do all kinds of stuff that, we all do similar stuff, but we all have our unique spin on how we do it. So if somebody resonates with me, great. If they resonate with Donna, great. It doesn't matter to me. What's your take on that? I know you think about that stuff too, I'm sure, because I think you're on the same
Yeah,
wavelength.
I actually don't. I think I learned when I was the director of the Holistic Learning Center, that which was sort of my baptism by fire into marketing. And but what I learned was we hosted so many large events and small events, is that people learn in different ways and they learn from different people. So we would have, like, if you take Caroline Myss and Marianne Williamson, they're pretty much saying the same thing, even Deepak Chopra. But what's happening is that people will learn from them in different ways. That's, and I feel the same way about business coaches and business, I do a totally different program, I'm sure, than you do. And so, but I don't want someone to be in my program that's a better fit for your program. So, and it all depends on the personalities. Sometimes I've had coaches where I just we didn't gel, but they're good coaches and they're good for other people. So that's the way I see it. I think you have to, if I were to advise somebody, which I do, is that test the waters. That's
Yeah.
why those strategic calls are so important. They're not a sales call. And if they are, then you should get off the call. But if they're just a greet and meet, and let's see if we can work together. And that's what my strategic calls are about. Yeah.
Yeah, you said a couple things in there. So the first one that I picked out is like, yes, different people resonate with different people, and while 10 people might have the same, like, overarching that 50,000-foot level, yes, I'm a business consultant. I teach some marketing stuff. I teach, so do you, right? And it's that, but then when you start drilling down, we do it completely different,
Yes.
and when you talk about those strategic calls, one of the other things that I do is an assessment. Is it's you can ask questions to just see if that person is a good fit for your program. And when I look at it on my end, I love meeting and working with other people just like you, because what I do is my goal is to help people as best as I can be successful. And whether that's with me or someone else, I don't really care. I don't have that invested. I'm not invested in the money in it. I'm invested in the help, in the serve piece of it.
Exactly.
And so if I have somebody who comes in and I'm listening to them and I'm like, yeah, they're not really a fit for my program. However, they just said a bunch of stuff. They really need to go talk to Donna.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to send them and say, you know what? my program might not be the best fit for you. Why don't you chat with Donna, because she does it a little bit differently. It goes into different things. And I think you might be a really good fit for her. And I'd rather refer them off. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm a big connector and referral partner, I guess. I would rather refer them on. I want them to be successful. That's the whole point of being in business for me, and the impact that I want to make. My goal is to light 1,000 candles, and then have them each light 1,000 candles, and we will be a much better world.
I love that. It's the ripple effect. And I love it. That's exactly my goal as well. So I love chatting with, like-minded people, that it's like, our goal is to go out there. Both of us met with Terry Levine, and she is her business is Heartrepreneur. We're both entrepreneurs. I love that
Right.
title that
Yeah.
she created, because it's doing business with heart. It's not about, hey, just, slamming out sales and getting the next sale in. It's about genuinely being concerned. How can I help you? Can I help you get to where you want to go? I actually care about you,
Yes,
you know?
definitely.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the folks that are out there these days, well, I still think that's kind of like, I think it's like, I'll even say like 80-20. It's like, 20% of us are really the heart focused people. And then everybody else is like, yeah, just, you see the ads on Facebook all the time. It's like, sign up for this, sign up for this. And they're in your face,
Oh yeah.
whether they're
Yeah.
sending you a DM, or they're sending you an email like blind, going, hey, I saw you're a coach. You should sign up for my program. I was like, I don't even know you.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And after a while, it's like, how are these people doing making these millions of dollars in 30 days? Are you serious now? And that's just the come on to get people to sign up, to put down money that you'll never get back, and you'll never get anywhere with it. And so that's like buyer beware,
Hmm.
you
And I
know.
think, when we were just chatting a couple minutes ago, we were talking about, um, doing the assessment for the right people to come
Yes.
in. And we were talking about, do that strategy call. A lot of people, I think, mentally these days have it in their head that a strategy call is, by the time I get done, you're going to try to sell me something.
Yeah.
And, how do you get around helping people to understand that, no, my strategy call is literally just that. I just want to see, can I help you? If I can, great. If I can't, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, well, I typically will call them chat with Donna when you sign up. So and it is a chat, because at the end of the day, I don't want to work with anybody that I can't help, or that I could use a different kind of coach. Um, and sometimes people think a coach is also a counselor, and that's not in my repertoire, but there are coaches that are counselors. And so, they work on that end, and I don't necessarily work on that end. I work on mindset, um, and self-limiting beliefs, and those kinds of things, but not really counseling. So those are people I would refer out. So I need to know just as much as the prospect needs to know, that, can we work together? Are we a good fit? Is this something? And I would rather know in advance that I cannot help someone than try to drag them over the finish line as we work together, because I'm a leave no man behind kind of person. So I will put in as much time with a client as I have to get them over that finish line, to reach their goal and that we set up.
Yeah, I love that. That's truly doing business with heart. It's you care. And you asked, you said, how people make those millions in a month. I mean, that's what they do. I think it's like psychologically, they convince people to buy their program, and it's like slam, 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 and then they're gone, and everybody's left with no refund, trying to figure out what they're doing. And it ends up being that shelf help, right? In the
Yeah.
background, that they didn't get anything out of it. It was literally a waste of money. I'll admit, I've done it. I've bought
Oh
those
yeah,
programs.
we've all done it. That's chasing the shiny object, and I can't, and I think Terry Levin even talked about it on one of her videos, like we've all, if you're a successful coach, you have invested thousands and thousands of dollars into programs that just didn't go anywhere. And I look at that as, oh, poor me. You can look at it like, oh, poor me, but you can look at it like what I look at it as, these are the ways I'm not going to help somebody that I am, there are some clients that are good with a weekly call. There are some clients that need a bi-weekly call, so I want to meet my clients where they are. And that's one of the biggest things I learned from these multiple coaching programs and coaches that I've had in the past.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head for me right there, because it's all about integrity. I honestly, I really don't understand the mindset of the folks who go out there and just like slam the stuff out there. And then, because personally for me, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
Yeah.
I worry about my clients. I actually am more concerned about my clients, I think, sometimes than they are about them.
And yeah, and that's a true fact.
Yeah, it's like, no, really, I can help you. Let's just do this. Just do this one thing. I need you to be able to do, because they still have to do the work. And I'm the one that's sitting there going, I'm right here for you. I can hold your hand doing it. You still have to do the work. And I think
Yeah,
sometimes I'm more invested in my clients than they're actually invested in their own success sometimes.
that's true. That is true.
Yeah. So you had in your bio, and when we talked about this right before we came on, it was like, what is energy leadership?
Well, energy leadership is to lead with your energy. So I guess that's kind of like a play on the words, but it's basically a program that I learned and that I help my clients, is that we're all energetic beings. And so you want to resonate with someone energetically. So that's part of your leadership, is to bring that energy into every relationship, because we are energetic beings, and that's pretty much what that's about. Um, to I guess I've been trained. I'm a Reiki master. I'm a pranic healer. I'm an IET practitioner. So I've learned all these different modalities when I was at the Holistic Center, mostly because it was I don't know if it was my job, or I felt like I was called to, really guide people into what programs and what modalities they should explore. And so I can't do that if I don't know them. So I would take these programs, even though I wasn't called to be the healer or the practitioner of these programs, just so I energetically could refer people or explain the programs to them with dignity and being authentic about it.
Yeah, it's when you think about that, because I love, and everybody who follows any of my stuff knows that I talk about energy all the time, because everything is energy. We talked about whether or not a person resonates with your program, my program, whatever program that's out there. It's all energy, and I love that. I love that you got into it enough so that you could use that to help guide your clients to where they need to go, because I see that all the time. I can, you know, I could be on a Zoom call with somebody and know immediately something's not quite right.
Right.
Might not know exactly what it is. However, the energy is telling me something's not quite right. And then I can like start exploring that. So it sounds like you go even deeper than that with
Well,
yours.
it's also like a kind of a coaching that uses intuitiveness, your intuition. And then I find that coaches I've had in the past don't do that. They don't tap into their intuition. I talk to someone, and I can't say I'm a psychic or anything, that's not, but I am intuitive. So I can pick up almost right away what's going on with someone that I'm having a strategic call with.
Mhm.
And so and that's how I can base whether or not we're a good fit together. If sometimes you can tell if someone's not coachable or isn't going to be accountable, and they're the wrong fit clients for me, because I put so much energy into their progress that just takes me away from other clients that I could have a better use of my time with.
So as you were saying that, what I wrote down so I wouldn't forget it is, as you were talking about that, you said, people aren't paying attention to their own intuition. Why do
Right.
you think that people don't pay attention to their gut? It's like you talk about that gut feeling and stuff like that. Some people just completely ignore it. Why do you think that is?
Sometimes it's not your gut. Sometimes it's your heart, and I find it more to be your heart than your gut. Your gut feeling kind of stops you from doing something. Like you just have a feeling, and that feeling really doesn't come from your gut. It comes from your heart. And you have this feeling that something's not right. Something's a little off. Well, most people don't know how to follow that, or they don't trust it. And it's really learning to trust yourself. And sometimes, and that's a lot of times as a coach, is what I do is I say, I can feel it too. And they'll share it. And I'll say, I'll hold your hand. We'll go through this. So sometimes there's a fear of trusting that. And especially in business, you got to leap. That's when I'm sure you know that yourself. It's like, you don't just like turn the lights on and people come flying through the door. It doesn't work that way. You got to take the leaps of faith. And if you're not following your intuition of knowing when to take those leaps of faith, then you go get a coach who can hold your hand through that. So, and that helps you in two ways. One, it helps you further yourself in business, but it also helps you to really tap into and follow your own intuition.
Yeah, and when you were saying that, that was the first thought that came to my mind, is every coach needs a coach, and that is exactly why.
Oh yeah.
You can't see, you don't necessarily see or know, what is going on. And sometimes it's like your innate survival mode kicks in, and whether it's a fear or something, you're not doing something, you're like, I just can't get past that glass ceiling, and you have no idea why. It's still all inside of you. However,
Yes.
it's like you're never going to be the one who can identify it and see it. You need that other coach. You need a coach to help, guide you through it, because you can't see it. You need somebody else to say, hey, here's what's going on. Let's go through it and get past
Yeah, that's exactly true. And I think for most of us, I can't say anyone that I know that doesn't feel this way, is that there is your intuition will tell you to do something, but there's a self-limiting belief that won't get you to take that leap. And so that's what a coach helps you through. It's like, I think I should do this, but I'm afraid to take that hurdle. I'm afraid to jump through that door or jump off that cliff. And that's why it's so important to have a coach, and a coach you resonate with, that becomes your friend. This is someone who you're collaborating with on an intimate basis to further your business.
Yeah, and you kind of hit the nail on the head there, because over the years, I've been in business for over 20 years myself. My first business was a brick and mortar computer business, and way back then, I was actually using a coach. I don't know if you know what SCORE is.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Society of Retired. I can't even remember the whole acronym, but it's retired executives.
Yeah.
And that was my first coach, came from SCORE, because I was
Okay,
opening
good.
up a brick and mortar business, and I had no clue how to do it. I learned everything as I went along, and that was actually the first thing. I guess for some people, I see some people that are out there that are like, I don't know, should I get a coach? I don't know. My advice would always be, every coach needs a coach,
Yep.
whether you're a coach or not, because you can't always see and you don't know everything. And somebody else just looking from the outside in
Yep.
is going to help to provide you direction. And even with the score person, there was just so much I didn't know. I think every coach I've had over the years has taught me amazingly valuable lessons that
Hmm.
I now teach,
Yeah,
you
good
know?
and bad.
Well, I try to teach all the good ones.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, they teach you good and bad, you know.
And
Yeah,
that's really true, because I have over the years had a couple coaches that I didn't stick with them long because
yeah,
at first it seemed like it was a good thing, and then it at the time I didn't know and wasn't in tune as much to the energy, the frequency, and the stuff
right.
that I talk about even now. I call myself a self-proclaimed, quantum physics sciencey geek, because
Yeah,
I just love talking about energy and vibration and frequency and that kind of thing.
absolutely.
Now looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, that was like oil and water. You did not mix with that person at all. It's no wonder you got no results from them.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. And we all have blind spots we can't see. You
Yeah.
know, I always liken it to driving down the street. You know, you're driving down a 2-lane highway, and you go to pull over into the right lane, and somebody honks at you, and you look in your mirror and you go, "Oh gosh, I'm so glad they honked because I didn't see them. They were in my blind spot." Who's going to see your blind spot more than a coach?
Exactly. That is such a great analogy. I love that. That's what
Yeah,
the coach is there to see, to help you with your blind spot and get you there so that you don't end up in that accident. You don't end up,
yeah,
crashing and burning your business because of stuff that you just didn't see. And if you had seen it, you would have avoided it or done something different. So
right, right.
I
Or
love that.
make the mistake and it takes you, months to recoup from.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst thing that could happen to me, when I see people who I'm coaching, is that I could have helped you avoid that,
Yeah.
and but I wasn't there, kind of thing.
With the folks that you work with and stuff like that, what do you see as being like? Is there any common theme for the folks that you work with? I'm not sure what specific your avatar is. What the folks that you work with, have you seen like a consistent theme with, oh, all of them need help with this?
Yeah, I mean, I typically work with coaches and uh, healers and spiritual entrepreneurs. uh, and basically with that group, that avatar, and I've known this for years, ever since I was the director of the Holistic Learning Center, is that they have this real angst about charging for their gifts. And so that's a huge hurdle, yeah, but God gave me this gift, I have to use it for good. Well, you can use it for good, but you can't make the impact that you want to make on the world if you don't charge. And I've seen people, and I'm going back over the years, who have a gift and they work like they're like the receptionists at the local corporation, because they don't want to charge enough for their gift. And if you don't charge enough, then you can't use it. So now you got 8 hours or 10 hours a day that you can't be using your gift because you don't want to charge for it. I mean, so I think that's the common theme with that group of avatars. And then how much to charge, there's a fear of overcharging. And, like, I'm not sure why that's there, but you definitely, God wants you to make a lot of money so that you can share a lot of money with a lot of people, so there's no way to do that if you don't charge appropriately.
Yeah, and you just said something that just like tweaked my head right there, because money is nothing but energy.
That's right.
And people get confused because they think of money as this physical thing,
Yep.
and all money is energy, and energy is meant to be, created and shared, and just like all other energy. It's like, so if you don't use your gifts and make the money doing that, so that that money can then in turn, everything goes around, and the
Yep.
big universal whatever, it's like everything just spins around this whole big energetic.
Well, there has to be an equal exchange of energy. And that's what has been told to me years ago. And it's something that I share a lot. So that if you're offering a gift, there has to be an equal exchange of energy coming back to you. And that's the laws of the universe.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. So if you were like thinking about that whole piece of it, is there any advice that you give like on a regular basis for people to get started? People who are the people who are scared
Yeah.
to charge what they're worth. What is the, a good piece of advice or a couple pieces of advice that you give to those
Well,
folks?
that the equal exchange of energy is a universal law, and you should be, you should learn the universal laws, because then you would know that they do apply to business. Being reciprocal, all the universal laws work, excuse me, in that respect. Um, and the other part of it is, how can you help others if you are not helping yourself? So, the Bible says, if you're, I believe in the Bible, I believe in God, and it's been said over the years in different ways that you got to help yourself first. You got to put your own oxygen mask on that before you help somebody else. Everybody's heard that. That's a big coaching thing. But it's the truth. If you cannot pay your own bills, then how can you help someone else? If you have to go down the street and get a job at a corporation because you can't pay your bills, then how is that helping anyone? God gave you these gifts but he gave them to you to use to make enough money that you can then pay it forward. And that's the whole thing. Now, if you're using your gifts and you're making a lot of money and you're hoarding it, well, that's not, you're not supposed to hide your lamp under the bed. You're supposed to share, right?
Yeah, that's pushing against the energy. I
Yeah.
always have, and I actually, where are they? They're right here. I have my two magnets, my little magnets. I use them for examples all the time. I said,
Oh, okay.
if the energy is going, if it's the right way, they click together and life is fine.
Yeah.
You flip one of them over and you can't get them. They won't touch. They will not connect.
Right.
As soon as I flip it back over, it connects in. And it's the same thing. If you're using it for the bad, it's not going to connect, and it's
Yeah.
going to have
That's
that negative.
I love that example. That's so good. We're going to steal that.
Go ahead, but by all means.
Yeah, love that.
So if people wanted to get a hold of you, we're coming up. We got a couple minutes left here. So if people wanted to chat with you, so you said that you work with a lot of spiritual and healers and stuff like that. Is that kind of your core market?
It is. They're my avatars. Yes.
And it sounds like you work wonders in that market just because of your background in the holistic center and all of the stuff and the Reiki and all the things that from the energy to help them. What would you send them to? Where would you send them if they wanted more information?
Okay. I don't know if I could put it in anywhere, but you could go. Oh, I could put it in the bottom here. I'm not sure. You could go to Donna at Glow, and it's glowmediamarketing.com.
All right, let's see. Donna at Glow Media Marketing. I love that name, by the way. glowmediamarketing.com. I'm actually going to put it in here, and then I want it on that post. Is that correct?
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Yes. So you can definitely go there to get in touch with me. I'm on LinkedIn. You can search Donna Meyer on LinkedIn. I'm there. Also Facebook, of course. And also I had a little gift if it's actually it's to take a look at your website and whether or not your website is going to convert. And it's called the let's see, get this right. Your conversion equation, it's called. So it's
and where would they find that?
HTTPS and yourconversionequation.com.
I thank you so much. Did I spell it right?
Yes.
Perfect.
And that's a little gift everyone can download if they want it. But that'll sort of take you through. What does your website? Is your website talking? Are you converting on your website? So that's the beginning. That's one of the biggest things that I work with my clients is their messaging. You cannot work with everyone, and healers tend to think they can, and they do. But when you throw that net too wide, you don't get the people that you really want to work with. So it's really helping them to really get clear on their message, which is getting clear, and your message should be on your website.
Yeah. And you just threw out, you just hinted on another great analogy. So think about a fisherman. When a fisherman's out there and they throw the net out wide, and they might be like looking for crabs or something like that. And then in the net, they get crabs, but they also get some fish, and they get some of this, and they get some of that, and they get a whole bunch of other stuff that's not what they were looking for. And then they spend a lot of time having to throw all that stuff back.
Whereas, or sift through it, and sifting through your ideal to find your ideal client is not the way you do business.
Exactly. I love this conversation, and we are over our 30 minutes now.
Okay.
We talked about that. It's like we could probably talk about this for like another hour and go on. I love the information. I love this conversation, and I love the fact that you have a little free gift for everybody. So for all the folks that are out there catching us live or on the replay, don't forget to click on that. I will make sure that it is under each one of the places, because I have to post it under the Facebook group. So the link will be there for you. And Donna, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me. This has been great. Loved it. And I thought it was a very synergistic call. Perfect.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much, everybody who's joining us live or on the replay. If you're on the replay, put in #replay and join us next time for Coffee with Regina. We'll see you then. Bye for now.